Whitney Young football is on the air. I got to give myself a little more slack here, otherwise I'm not going to be able to sit down next to Jack. We are joining you from Whitney Young High School for Banquet 2025. I'm Barry Newman. I'm joined tonight by Jack Wildermuth. Jack, pride of Sydney, Ohio.
I know. Well, we have two Midwestern kids from a small town in Wisconsin and Ohio, and it's been a real privilege to be a part of to podcast with you, Barry, and to be a part of the team this year.
Can we get fins up for a banquet?
Well, here we are, 211 South Laughlin, home of the Dolphins. And I think the number one school in the world, in the globe, I think. There's some rankings that might have.
I think we've defined it as
some
the
other
universe.
schools. But if you want a full high school experience with excellence, academics, athletics, just overall winning, Whitney Young is the place to be. Fins up at the banquet.
We got fins up at the banquet. So we're going to see if we can get some visitors. We're going to try to talk to Coach Finger. We will not, although I said this during media day, that we weren't going to talk to all 29 seniors, and I think that we did. I think that there are people just posing as seniors. I mean,
there really were. Tony McHale had it was like in the Oscars, the person that holds up the sign say "wrap it up." Tony had that sign up after about the 10th senior, but you finished all of them, and you got them all in there.
So we probably won't get them all in tonight, but if we do, more power to us. We'll definitely talk to Coach Finger. Again, just an incredible season. And we'll dive into some of the numbers. There's Coach Finger right now. I'm just going to check in with him to see what his schedule is like and what it will work best for him. We also have to my guy Jack Wildermuth here is going through surgery tomorrow. So he's got a blown out.
I did. I made it through the season, but I ruptured my quad tendon. So
now the rumor is that happened during the Ohio State-Michigan game, and so were you posing as an Ohio State linebacker during that game?
I'm telling the doctors and everyone, except maybe the people, that it was a football game because I was throwing the football around the living room of the house. I landed incorrectly, and I heard just crack, and I shattered my tendon. But I have the winning Dolphin. The winningness of the Dolphins inside me, it's going to be a quick recovery.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
How about this? We actually have a third headset. Coach Finger, why don't you see if you slide in next to me here, and see. We'll see if we can all squeeze in. Maybe I may get rid of my chair here, and then let me just adjust a little bit here.
Coach
Give
Finger has
a
his
little more slack. Yeah, there we go.
Letterman's jacket. Good, strong.
I think now we're good. I'm just going to pull us back
I can
a little
scooch
bit
over.
here. No, you're good right where you are.
Okay, yeah.
I think you're good right where you are. This is all just, usually you don't see this stuff at home when we're trying to figure all of this stuff out on the fly. We got Remy back there doing his handiwork.
We're inside, so the good thing is we will not have a member of the broadcast team go down for hypothermia.
Yep, exactly. So here, let me just let me adjust this here a little bit, and then I think we're good, right? We're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, right there. So don't look at that. That's a little bit behind. Coach Finger, heck of a year, man.
Thanks.
I was hang on. I think I got to turn you up just a little bit there. Give me another sound check, Coach Finger.
Testing.
Yeah, he's off a bit.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Do you want to
Test.
Yeah.
It was better there. Yeah.
Ooh, sounds like. Now give us another try, Coach Finger.
Testing.
No, you want to switch it out?
Yeah, yep. Let's switch there. Sorry, Jack. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that one. Anyway.
All right.
Now I think we're on. Coach Finger, amazing season.
Thank you.
Third straight season with 9 wins or more.
Yep.
I looked at some of the numbers, so I just want to throw these things out to you.
Okay.
This senior class, if you go all the way back to them as freshmen, 32-16 record, so 667 winning percentage. But then if you look at the last 2 years, 21-5.
Wow. Yeah.
80% wins.
Yeah. Really good group of kids who, it's so funny, we've been kind of thinking, I've been getting ready for these senior speeches and everything, and I've been thinking about how close they are together. And, I think that freshman year was a rough intro to high school football for so many of them.
Yeah.
But our numbers went up. We had more kids in that class come out for football the next year and the next year and the next year. And you expect that bump after a city championship, but not after 2-7 or whatever we were. And some of those games were not very close. And, yeah, it was it speaks to the testament of it's a testament to the camaraderie and the relationships these guys build with each other in the off season and off the field and on the field and in the carpools and in the team meals and everything, that they wanted to just spend more time together. And then they ended up spending, I think these past 3 years we had a whole nother football season and just playoff games. So they more than made up for that first year. Yeah, in many ways. And maybe my perspective on this is a little different just because I had a kid that was part of the program. But for me, the last 4 years, and maybe it is because of guys like MJ and Max and Joseph Gray, who were there on that 2-7 team and starting. Yep. We don't have freshmen and not even many sophomores just because of the growth of the program over the time. So I almost feel like this 4-year window in here is a chapter. Yeah. It's an important chapter. And to see, and even going all the way back to that and thinking about these guys, and you mentioned before MJ coming in as a 13-year-old, right, and starting at left tackle first game against Hope, and looking at the numbers that these guys have put together over their careers, those 3 guys, but just all the progression of things. And again, that's where I was looking at the numbers of like, hey, you look back, you got the 9 straight wins, you got a city championship in that, you had 2 appearances in the cities, you've got 3 state playoff appearances, 3 city playoff appearances. Let me throw out some other numbers on this year's team specifically. Okay. Because I geek out on this stuff, right? Looking at it on the offensive side of the ball, all right, so average 29 points a game, 6 games over 40 points. Wow. All right, so that's pretty cool. Then, I remember we talked to each other after the Taft game in the parking lot, and I said, we were over 400 yards. And we were like, yeah. And I'm like, and then 490 yards in that Taft game, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah. But then you get into, and maybe you care about this, maybe you don't. I always talk about the balance, It's like you can do it on the passing side, you can do it on the rushing side. Averages for the year, 155 yards passing per game, 147 yards rushing per game, right? I looked at it to the number of plays. You wanna guess the spread on the passes to rushes? Yeah. I would have guessed something like 10, like maybe 55-45. You threw 269 passes, and you ran the ball 272 times. Wow. A difference of 3 in the entire play. Wow. 3 plays. 1,000-yard rusher in Max. QB, Vaughn Conrad, over 1,800 yards. I mean, just super impressive stuff there. Yep. Flip it over on the defensive side of the ball. Gave up 11.2 points per game, 3 shutouts, 3 other games of 7 points or less, so 6 games total at 7 points or less. Wow. I mean, the defense was dominant. Turnover margin, you want to guess what your turnover margin was on the year? Maybe 2 a game, maybe 20, maybe. Bingo, exactly. Really? Okay. Yes. So I think what's amazing about that too, in looking at it, and some of these too, like a couple of the interceptions were garbage time touchdowns or at the end of a half and just trying to dial something up. 8 interceptions, only 2 lost fumbles all year. Love that. Ball security drills, man, those things are working. I love it. Yeah. And then on the flip side, we caused 12 interceptions, 18 fumbles, so that plus 20 margin. Wow.
And then throw in special teams. And I think back, I mean, the numbers were great there. Two of the biggest plays of the year were in my mind, in my humble opinion, were special teams plays. One, the field goal to win it in Amundsen.
100%.
And then I still go back to Sean Miller's punt in that Peyton game.
Yes,
down 7-6 and flipped the. So enough of me talking.
Sure.
Let's talk, and maybe just, I mean, we can't go through all 29 seniors.
No.
We'll hopefully talk to some of your captains. Let's start off with those guys and maybe just say a couple words. And let's start right with number one and Maxwell Warner. I mean, again, going over 1,000 yards on the year, 2,600 total yards in his career.
Yeah, had a couple media folks reach out who were hoping to cover the signing day ceremony, which is tomorrow, and but the state championship games had to be rescheduled, so there's a whole mess with that. So we had some calls yesterday, and I was just thinking about how grateful I am for Max's humility this year. Nobody has dedicated more time to improving themselves and learning via film study, via mental reps and practice, all this stuff than Max, and he had every reason not to be humble. Right, he was committed to an SEC school before the season began, before practice even started this summer, and he was super humble and super dedicated to getting better and to continuing to develop, and then helping others too, and coaching up young guys when he's hurt or when he's out, just not in on a play or something, coaching up guys, and that is extremely valuable as a coach when your best player is also a tremendous leader and willing to do anything, and just makes it so much easier when teams and other guys are player led in that way. And so really grateful for Max for that. The other three captains who we're going to hear from in a little bit, MJ is such a fearless, and I think he's underappreciated and young, but he's so fearless in terms of applying what he's taught. I've never been around a kid who will take a technique and try it right away in a competitive rep and learn from that. It's not success immediately. It's not supposed to be success immediately, but he's so fearless about improving himself and wanting to attack whatever the challenge is. And to me, that is he's under-recruited right now. I think it's going to, from what we're hearing in the next couple of weeks, it's going to pick up. But he is going to unlock something at the next level because of that. Because college coaches are going to be like, oh, wow, he's doing this right away as a freshman, and he should be a senior in high school. And so really grateful for him for just embracing, playing center this year, guard, playing tackle as a 13-year-old, playing 5 tech or 4-4-eye or nose or whatever it is, and just embracing that. And so we're going to miss that next year. And then, you know this better than most, but as far as Vaughn goes, there is not a single person who gets coached harder than the quarterback. And it's tough because they get some of the success, some of the share of the credit, but they get an awful lot of the blame. Yeah. And that includes coming from me and the coaching staff. And we are hardest on those guys. And guys like, Bennett and Pat McHale before him and now Vaughn, nobody gives more than those guys do. And no matter how much we asked and demanded of Vaughn and put more on his plate, and he's hearing from 10 different voices from the coaching staff, from teammates, from whatever, he gave back more. He put in more. He sent film notes every week. I had no idea he was doing this until the end of the season, but he had film notes he was sending to all the receivers and all the skill guys on offense. And his film numbers were always super high, but he's the last one out of the building every day. Yeah. He's the first guy down to practice every day. He's taped and ready to go. He's warmed up on the field. All those little things are stuff you can never, you can tell kids that that's what great players do, but you can't make them do it ever, right? It's enough. We ask enough of kids to just be at practice every day and try their best and do all that. And Vaughn did all those extra little things that made him a great player, but an exceptional leader. And it gives you that authority in the huddle, right? When everybody knows how much you've put into this, that when he's talking, it's time to listen, and everybody's confident in what he's going to do. So really grateful for that, and we're going to miss that too. And then, the last guy is Joe Gray, who he wants to come to Whitney Young, but I'm worried. And I said, what are you worried about? Sounds great. What's the hold up here? Yeah. And he just said, I need you to take care of this kid. This kid's really, really special, and I need you to take care of him. And, we got Joe, and he's starting as a freshman, and he started however many number of positions and games. But what I realized kind of reflecting on that, probably after his freshman year, and it's become even more clear, is that his youth coach wanted to make sure people were taking care of him because that's how Joe treats everybody else. Joe and the entire Gray family, but Joe, especially in my experience, takes care of people around him. And, he had by far the most captain votes for us this year, even though we had, I think, 14 different guys receive votes. And no matter what his role is on the field, and Joe's a great player. But to talk about him, you talk about who he is off the field first and how he makes everybody around him engaged and better. And we're going to miss that unspeakably next year. I'm not sure how we could ever ask another teenager to kind of do the things that Joe Gray has done off the field for us. So, I'm going to be waxing poetic about these guys later tonight too. But,
No, incredible. And really, I was looking at, again, back to the numbers. Joseph Gray, 445 tackles.
Wow.
Which is insane, right? 445 tackles, 70 tackles for loss. And some of this stuff is like, you don't I hang out with some of these older guys, and so, of course, there's always the, hey, I play this, I play that. But Joseph Clayton had 308 tackles. Yeah. So Joe Gray had 150 more. Now, Joseph Clayton, I know, we talked last weekend, there was a COVID year in there, right?
Yeah, right.
And also some injuries at the end of the year. And actually, I thought about that as a parallel, right? And I think, football injuries are a way of life,
Yeah.
But I think back to Joseph Clayton not being able to play in the city championship game. Think about last year, Nick Dale. So back to back, you had your all-state guys, and then Max this year.
Yep.
That and in some ways this season, I think, and it's also a testament to the way you guys practice and prepare these guys, because we didn't have those injuries, right? I mean, it's not to say guys weren't dinged up, and not to say that some guys didn't miss reps or guys didn't miss some games,
right?
But it was also you were able to put that team on the field for 12 games, a really continuity in that unit.
Yeah, and it's football. We talk about it all the time. Football has a 100% hurt rate. Everybody who's ever played has been hurt. It doesn't necessarily have a 100% injury rate, although that's pretty high too. But everybody's hurt, and it's kind of how you take care of yourself and how you believe in what we preach in terms of hydrate, eat right, get enough sleep. There are alums rolling their eyes.
Say it again. Say it again.
Hydrate, eat right, get enough sleep. And then embracing the weight room as the way we put our armor on, and just every little thing adding up. So when you're late in the year, man, it's who's been doing that. You might get away with it in the regular season, but when it's that third month of football, when it's week 12 and it's only good teams, right? So you've had the most physical games of your season the past however many games.
Yeah.
It's going to add up, and you get unlucky sometimes. I mean, Nick and Max and certainly Joe got unlucky, right? Ankle sprains. It's pretty tough to prevent that kind of stuff. But it speaks to how they built and established themselves, that we never even had that, these serious injuries for those guys who play so many downs year after year. So, I know Joe Clayton his analytic mind is probably at home like, well, how many tackles per game did Joseph Gray have, and this and that, and he got a whole nother season in the playoffs, right? It's, but to me, the numbers don't even tell the story of these seniors. So
well, if we want to challenge that one too, and I know that I'm going to say we can't talk about all 29 of these guys. But you also and this is a big part. I mean, Vaughn's numbers were incredible this year. So over 1,800 yards passing. It distributed the ball incredibly well. Those two senior receivers, though, Miles Bardsma, big play Bardsma, and the Riz God, Rayton Scottmere. I was looking at their numbers. So Rayton's numbers, 46 catches, 603 yards, 8 touchdowns. Miles, 43 catches, 492 yards, 4 touchdowns. So, and again, Nasir Rankin, Anthony Hood, we understand, but the highest number over the last in the Coach Finger era was Rankin with 37 catches for 441 and 5. Yeah, Anthony, you ran a lot of Wildcat that year, so we'll give it that.
Yeah.
But still, to look at those numbers for those guys, and again, I think in looking at the highlight film, you also saw so many different, and this is, I think, a credit to your guys, but I think also to your coaching staff, and the way that's developed too. Because back to that offensive balance, when you see the highlight film, it's not just like the same thing over and over and over again,
right?
Especially in the passing game. Oh, I think hang on a second. Let me just. Okay,
there we go.
We're back. Gonna have to.
All right.
We'll have to tune up our equipment in the off season.
Yeah.
It also takes a beating throughout the course of the year. We'll start grabbing some of the guys, but I wanted to final question. I always ask you at the beginning of the season about, and knowing the. It's always hard those first practices, and thinking about the team from the year before, and you think you can't imagine how these guys. So, what about the culture of this year's team? You mentioned a lot of those guys. What do you think in here you're going to feel about this team? 5-10 years from now.
I think they'll have been extremely resilient and trusting of one another, which is something that. You can lead the horse to water, right, but you can't make it drink. It's something that, as adults, anybody who played high school football kind of tries to impart on a teenage boy. Like, these are the moments, right? Yeah. Like, hold on to this. Like, you never realize it's the good times when you're in them. It's and stuff like that. And not to say that anybody's peaking or anything, but just the way 29 guys, like. And still as tight as ever, like still hanging out with each other, still clowning around Sam's room down there, or at wrestling. I went to a wrestling meet, and they're messing with each other on the sideline during the meet, and just these incredible bonds that come from, like we talked about, that freshman year. So we had 17, I believe, 4-year guys, which is bigger than our average senior class, and. Going through tough moments and losing JV games and losing varsity games and stuff like that, and capitalizing on it. Not being complacent or saying, I'm happy with this experience, but shaping their own together outside of what coaches ask or can even demand of you. And so eternally grateful for them setting that standard, because it can be easy to splinter and have cliques and all that when you've got. That's a college. It's bigger than a college class, football class, in many ways. So, really grateful for them, to them for that, and excited about what's next for each of these guys. They're going to be all over the place and playing college football, a lot of them. So, really grateful for that too.
All right,
and Coach, I should add, grateful for Barry Newman, the voice of Win Young football. You make everything so special, and I can't tell you how many college coaches who watch highlight tapes or stuff like that say, "Who is this guy you got doing this?" And I go, "That's Barry Newman." And we lost Remy a couple of times this year, and having to figure it out. And I had no idea, out on the field. So just want to say thank you too, because I know everybody here appreciates you, and we don't say it enough. So
and you do say it enough. I appreciate it. It's a great story, and that's why it's easy. I'm just and again, the story we've been able to tell, and the story that we're going to be able to continue telling is, and that starts with you, and it starts with the culture of this program. And I feel like I started that story like 20 different times during the year, and then all of a sudden some great play happens, and then it's like, we'll get back to this. I do think that's and it is interesting, because we'll see in the live stream at the end, and we'll see the comments, and I'll see Barry Gordon commenting in there, or Luke Yolich commenting in there, and that means a lot. It means a lot to those guys, what you've done, and so that's it's a tribute. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I know that this night is these banquets. You got a lot ahead of you tonight, Coach. So,
but appreciate you. Let me try.
All right, let's see if we can grab a couple captains here. Yeah, I think if I can. Well,
are you ready?
Oh yeah. All right, awesome, Coach. Thanks a lot.
We're back.
Joseph Gray, football player.
Yep.
How's it feel, man? You're here. Let me do this. I was just talking to Coach about this stuff. This all right here. This is your total, your career numbers, and it's so wide because you did so much, right?
Yeah.
You want to You want to guess how many tackles you had total?
Tackles. Is this like is this just defense or like special teams?
Oh man, you're good. You know what? I think it's just defense.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I averaged. Let's just say like close to no. I'm gonna say 395.
All right, 445.
Wow.
You know, I went back and we were just talking on air with Coach Finger, and I'm trying to poke the bear on some of these alumni. You know, how close do you think Joseph Clayton was? Because I'm guessing Jolich had a year that he lost on a collarbone, right? So he didn't really factor in, although I'm sure that he was in that ballpark as well. Mm-hmm. Joseph Clayton, 309 tackles.
Wow.
So you only had about 140 more than Joseph Clayton.
Because I remember, I was on the field at the same time, but I remember sophomore year when we played Kenwood in the homecoming game, or not the homecoming, the city championship.
Yeah, okay.
Joe, he was having the cramps. So I had to go in, and I was like, not only is this nerve-wracking because, like, I have to play linebacker against a team with some guys.
Yeah, some guys.
But I was like, I have to play for Joe. Like, I have to play for him, perform well. And I had a pretty good game that game, but
you did. Well, and again, I also tallied. So you're as a 4-year guy, winning percentage for you as a senior across all 4 years, 32 wins, 16 losses, 667, and then the last 2 years, 80% win, 21 wins, 5 losses. Also, before I go away from the numbers, the other thing that's kind of cool is that you scored touchdowns 4 different ways. 4, yep. Because you had rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown, interception return for a touchdown, fumble return for a touchdown. Did I miss anything?
No,
I don't think you returned. If you had more of a chance, you would have returned a kick for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So you had 9 total touchdowns. So reflect back on these years. And I'll make it a little easier. Which game do you think kind of sticks out for you as the one that you think you'll remember? Game or games?
Right off the bat, sophomore year when we played our first state game.
Oh yeah.
We played
Wheaton North.
Yeah, Wheaton North. And I remember it was raining really bad, and I don't know if it was Luke or Joe that was out, but I was in the game and I was starting at linebacker. And I remember before that game I had been not really nervous, but just excited to play. Because I knew city teams, they were good, but I was like, if I want to play at the next level, I need to see what state's going to be like. And we started playing in the first or the second play of the game. Their running back was like 6'2".
Yeah, he was a beast.
Big dude.
He was a beast.
And I was like, the run's coming, so I'm just ready to like feel it, like set the tone, first play, see what this game's gonna be like. And he ran, it was like inside zone. The gap was filled, so he bounced it outside, and I wadded right, and I fit him right there, and I hit him, and I took him down right away. He didn't run through me. He didn't like nothing happened. Like what I thought was gonna happen didn't happen. I was the one that made the play, and I was like, dang, I can do this.
Yeah. All right.
And it was raining really bad that game, and I remember that was the first time I was like I remember the guys behind me, they're like, Joe, like call the play, like what are we doing? I was like, oh shoot, like this is what linebacker is like. You have to actually call the defense, kind of like the quarterback of the defense. And that was really cool. That was a game that stuck out to me.
Yeah, well, I would say it's kind of interesting that you bring up a play like that, because I have to say, like when we're calling the game, we're a long way away, right? And so it was always helpful that you wore the orange cleats. Yeah. That was very helpful. But a lot of times when I just saw some dude get cracked out there, I just called your name. and then I would look and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I was right. I still remember the hit on the Morgan Park quarterback in that first game this year. He was like, and then I looked down at it. I was like, dude was 6'1", 221 pounds.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a great play, like, for me, but it was also a great play to just be like, a lot of people are like, Morgan, like Winnie Young can't mess with Morgan Park, And so it's kind of like there's good players, and then there's players who, like, they set the tone of the game. So, like, I wanted to try to be a player where I could set the tone. Like, I could I'm trying to find the words. Like, I could be the one they're play calling around.
Yeah.
So something like that. So when I hit him, I didn't want to be disrespectful because they're a good team. But I was more so like don't run up the middle again. That's kind of like that.
Yeah, very cool. And then other plays that stick out. I mean, my goodness, and we'll see it on the highlight film tonight. The interception return against Taft, and then we kept the one in against Peyton because it was such a fun run back.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you, and maybe I talked to Coach Finger about that the next week, and he said we always preach don't get tackled by the sideline. Things like that, are those, I mean, everything's moving so fast, but is that a thought that you have on a play like that?
I wasn't thinking more so about sideline, but I was thinking because it was kind of raining a little bit, and I was like, we were backed up too. I was like, okay, we need to stop, and if they score, it's going to be a close game, and some of the guys are going to be like, dang, we got scored on again. So I was like, I know they're going to pass it. I'm just going to get my drop. I get my drop, I catch it, and I was like, all right. And I see the dude from the corner of my eye, so I was like, all right, I'm going to make a miss. I made a miss, and as I was running up the sideline, I see, like, Coach Finger and all them. They're just like, go, go, go. And I was like, all right, I tucked it, and I was just going. And then thankfully I broke the tackle, and I just kept going. I was gassed, but that was a good play. I think, I was thinking don't go down, keep the ball tucked, like pin it to your chest. That's the 5 points. 5 points of
ball security. Yep, absolutely.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, that's cool. So, where do we stand on college stuff? Is that decision coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, I really have applied to one school, and I got in. I was, not that I'm for sure going there, but they've given me a good amount of money to go. It's where my siblings went, so
okay, all right.
There's some roots there, and then they do have a football team. It's D3. Their head coach came from Oregon, Coach Fig, and I've been in contact with him. I went to their camp, and I'm going to send him my tape, and I do think I'd play.
All right.
I'd definitely play, and I'd see if I can play linebacker still, get a little bit bigger, but if they move me to safety, because I played a good amount of safety this year too.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That'd be really fun.
All right. Well, that would be exciting. We'll keep watching.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been so much fun watching you play for 4 years, and it's been great having the Gray family singers as part of it. I know you guys have a big holiday season and getting out there and singing carols all over the place.
Yeah.
But man, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Joseph Gray, football player. All right. Can you help me out and maybe grab one of the other captains? Vaughn's right here. Let's see. Let's grab Vaughn.
All right, welcome everybody.
Hello. How's it going?
Dude,
good to see you.
Good to see you. Vaughn Conrad. I think. Yep, we're in screen. Let's. We'll wait till Coach Finger does his announcements here, and then we'll continue the interview.
My name's Dan Finger. I'm the head football coach here. Really means a ton that you showed up for this. This is a special ceremony to honor our 2025 team, specifically our graduating seniors here. And so we're excited that you were able to make it. Big shout out to all of our volunteers here. Carrie did a big piece of it. Barry and a ton of other people. And I'll be up here all night, but I'll try and remember each name as we get going. I'm going to have a few opportunities to talk. So I'll be short-winded now because I'm not going to be short-winded on the end as a warning. But thanks for being here. We're going to start with the food service for friends and family. Players will eat last. So friends and family, please go right ahead. And once again, thanks for coming.
All right. So Coach Finger's got everybody lined up for mealtime. Vaughn Conrad, ladies and gentlemen. Vaughn, we'll try to hit on a few things, but I've been on the numbers, right? Kind of crazy numbers, in fact. Looking at this, career numbers, 249 completions, completion percentage of .568, 29 touchdowns passing, throw another 5 in there rushing. So 34 total touchdowns. When you were that kid, and I don't even know, like youth football, I know you were a Sheridan Park baseball guy.
Yeah.
When you were a youth football guy or that first year in JV, if I would say that, hey, I'm going to be talking to you, and I want you to answer honestly, and I would be saying at your senior banquet that you had 34 career touchdowns, you think I would have been high on what your estimation would be?
I probably would have laughed at you. I'm shocked that my mom even still let me play, but I mean, I never touched a real football until my freshman year. I was shocked by how big the ball was.
Yeah.
When I first started playing. So I'm just blessed. I'm shocked that I'm even here.
Well, just an incredible year, and I think. And I've said this a couple times. I hope I said it to you, and said it to your dad. I know where you talk about quarterbacks, and talk about how the quarterback sometimes gets more of the blame than they deserve, and maybe more of the credit than they deserve. I feel like, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I think we've taken you for granted a little bit, and again, I mentioned to Joe Gray that we'll see some of this stuff on the highlight tape tonight. It's incredible. It said to Coach Finger, too, of like seeing the different throws that you made this past year. That you don't just wake up and do that. Tell us a little bit more of the progression of that, both physically and mentally, of how you felt this year.
Yeah, I mean, first it starts with Coach Will, new guy this year, but he's been awesome to have around. He's taught me so much, and even in being here in, 3 months he was here, he has just been amazing, and he'll be great for the guys to come. And my off season, I didn't spend a lot of time making throws or anything. I just wanted to get in shape. I wanted to be, strong. I wanted to be fast. I wanted to make sure I could protect myself. So that was kind of the process for that. But yeah, it's a testament to the coaching, and even Coach Finger is in and out of helping us, and it really all leads back to them.
Yeah. So this year again, and I looked at it earlier, but. The ball distribution was just incredible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and so I am. I'm poking the bear on a bunch of these guys, the graduated guys, because like Miles 43 catches for 492 yards, Rayton 46 catches for 603 yards. If we look in the Coach Finger era, the highest totals for a receiver prior to that were Nasir Rankin, 37 catches for 441.
Yeah.
So each of those guys, and I already gave Anthony Hood his props saying, hey, I know you were a Wildcat quarterback and stuff like that. But talk about a little bit more. Come this way a little bit. We're going to fall out of the screen. Talk more about those guys, the chemistry you developed, and I think overall, like really what was working from an offensive standpoint, because it wasn't just those two guys. It was Bennett DeRoss, and then Io checks in later, and he had a massive game against Morgan Park at the end, and you made the Z great again. The Z actually caught a couple passes.
Yeah, I think it really starts with my relationship off the field with those guys. I'm lucky enough to be friends with those guys outside of football. Like this is in the off season where you get to build the connections with those guys, and I'm really lucky to have. Those 4 starting receivers were amazing this year, and to have that relationship with them is amazing. That I can, maybe I make a bad throw in the practice, but I can go hang out with them after a game. Like it's amazing to have those guys around, and it's really a testament to them.
Yep, and maybe a shout-out to the O-line, too.
Big shout-out to the O-line this year.
Other than you getting smoked against Peyton, and that was maybe even your fault.
That wasn't on them. That wasn't on the O-line. But, yeah, big shout-out to them. It wasn't, we didn't have the most, consistent as far as the same guys up there, but they did their job every week, and I'm very, very lucky to have a line like how they played this year. So
all right, and then maybe before I let you go, I tallied all of those stats, but there's also one stat I want to bring up, and that is 1 catch for 22 yards.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, man.
I am so happy I got something in there. I was hoping that I could get one reception before I leave. I'm just praying Coach Finger draws up a trick play. And that play was never supposed to go to me. That was supposed to go to a receiver down the field. And Coach Finger's like, if neither of them are open, Vaughn, you can just slip out of the edge. And if he's wide open, just throw it to him. And that ended up being the case. And I'm happy I made the most of that. I was thinking, just don't drop it.
Well, it was a nice throw, but yeah, you're right. Throw. It was up there for a little bit.
It was up there. The wind was blowing. I'm glad he got it there.
Yeah.
If he didn't get it there, I would have been so
And then
mad.
you made a DB pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much fun. Well, before we get some of the other guys, any parting words for Dolphin Nation, and maybe give us some input into what we might have next in store for Vaughn Conrad through the rest of your senior year and on to college.
I am talking to a couple of schools to play probably Division III football. I'm looking into that. And as far as the future of the Dolphins, we are in great hands. I can't really speak enough about how much Coach Will has done for the quarterbacks at least, and I have no worry whatsoever for the guys that are taking over next year.
All right. Well, very good.
Thank you.
Dude.
Good talking to you.
Great talking to you, Vaughn. It's been a pleasure watching you play for 4 years. Oh, this guy, we recognize this guy.
All right. Mr. Newman, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Maxwell Warner, ladies and gentlemen, the chosen one. and actually, I didn't have enough time. You needed to not be hurt because I was going to evolve the nickname, and I was going to say one of one.
Ooh.
One of one.
I like that.
I thought you might. All right. I've started everybody else with the numbers.
Okay.
This season, 1,156 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns, average rush 9.4 yards per carry. Over your career, 1,922 yards rushing, total yards 2,685, total touchdowns 28. And Vaughn was saying too, it's what's amazing on you Whitney Young guys is that you just show up and you do that stuff. Like you had never played tackle football before.
Never played tackle football before high school.
So I mean, maybe take it all the way back to that. What did you have expectations? Because I asked both Joe Gray and Vaughn. Like if I would have said, hey, we'd be standing here and we'd be talking about these numbers, is that something that could have been part of what you were thinking about?
No, definitely not. I didn't know where I was going to go with football, to be honest, when I first joined, because when I first joined, I wasn't really taking it that serious, but then somehow I ended up getting to the starting lineup in like week 5, and I was starting at corner, and things were just moving really fast for me. But, as the years went on, it slowed down, and it's all like starting to come together, and I'm really excited for that.
Well, it is funny that you say that because I remember going all the way back to that, and I remember talking to my son Bennett Newman and to Anthony Hood, and I didn't know you. I mean, I knew that you were a freshman, you were playing a little bit of corner, and they're like, no, he's him. He is him. And so I think a lot of people could see that early on. Talk about the progression from a running back perspective because, last year, you split carries with Jolich. You guys were a little bit, I mean, he was more between the tackles guy. This year, you were running, I mean, Warner got the corner, but Warner also hit the A gap and ran over people. So tell us about that progression and how you've been able to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it definitely started last year, and I want to give a big shout out to Coach Jordan because he helped me a lot with running back. Playing running back in college, he knew like what to do on certain plays, and he would help me a lot during practice and spend a lot of extra time with me. So big shout out to him because without Coach Jordan, I don't really know where I'd be today with running back. But I mean, just watching football and just getting more experience with it really helped me like understand where I need to be, what I need to do on every play.
Think back to.
I'm going to break the broadcasting rule and photobomb this.
Oh, we got Val Warner photobombing in here.
I'm talking this mic.
All right,
No, I'm kidding. I'm going to the food.
All right.
Number one fan of number one.
Yeah,
number one fan of number one, without a doubt. think back on the career, what sticks out? What game? What play? What do you think that you'll remember in 5-10 years from now?
I would definitely say, going back to junior year, city playoff semifinal game against Amundsen. Overtime, double overtime, 4th down, touchdown to keep the game going. Definitely that game. I would even say the game against Palatine, even though we lost this year. I had a great game. You know, it was like my last full game kind of playing. So
I looked at that today and looking at stats, and we rushed for 200 yards against Palatine. And that's a tough team.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got D1 guys across the line especially.
Definitely.
And I think that the touchdown run that you had against them, I mean, I think they were all kind of looking at each other like, what just hit us? So, I mean, I think, and that was. And so maybe also, how's your ankle feeling?
It's feeling a lot better now.
Okay, feeling a lot better. And then give us the preview because you're heading off, right?
Yeah, so my last day of school will be December 19th. So basically after 3 weeks of school, I'm done with high school, and then January 21st or 20th, I start classes at Missouri.
All right, okay. And so then what is do you know already like off-season schedule? I mean, clearly you're doing that to play spring ball. So are you, when you're there, that first class, you're also full-on weight room, everything else, right?
I don't know the full schedule yet, but I know it's definitely going to be a lot of weight room.
Yep.
You know, spring ball is going to be starting soon after I get there. So it's going to be a lot of fun there.
All right. And maybe how's your mom taking this whole thing? Is it a little tough in the Warner residence right now?
Well, my mom at first she didn't want me to do it. She wanted me to stay, home as long as possible. But I kept telling her I got to spread my wings and fly. And she got with it, but I mean, I feel like today, like still to this day, it's still like kind of surreal for her. And she definitely she's like, wait, what? Is this really happening? But Java has been encouraging it though, and I've been wanting to do it ever since like the opportunity.
And I think it is what it is right now, right? I mean, and you have so many guys that are doing it. And you really, it's a business, man. You know, and that you have that opportunity. Maybe before I let you go, you've shouted out Coach Jordan. What's it meant playing for Coach Finger over these last 4 years?
It's meant a lot, especially playing DB, and Coach Finger works with the DB. So every week we have an individual period for defensive backs, and every time it's always something new, and we're always learning something, talking over something, getting ready for the game, and just playing for Coach Finger, it's just been really special. I'm gonna really miss that because Coach Finger was my guy since day one. I was working with the DBs, and then it just took off from there. But I'm really grateful and thankful for Coach Finger though.
Well, we are grateful and thankful for you, Max Warner. It's been so awesome watching you. I mean, again, I'll just go back through the clips because it's been incredible. In all 4 years, really. I mean, again, you walked in and Coach Finger was talking about it. I feel like, for you, Joe Gray, MJ Woods, guys that started and played on a team that really didn't have things go their way. And then to go through and to put everything together that you guys have done, city championship, winning a state playoff game, appearing in the city championship. I mean, the record 80% win percentage for you guys is just incredible. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Mr. Newman.
Great to spend time with you.
Most definitely.
All right. I am hopefully getting MJ Woods. Have we seen MJ around? Do we think we have MJ? Do you guys have MJ? Well, I'll take you guys. What's that? I mean, I'll take you guys. We got to be quick with you guys, but is MJ here? What's that? Oh, okay. All right, we're getting MJ Woods over here. All right, gang, thanks for being patient. All right, MJ, come on over. I know the offensive linemen are getting food here, so let's get you on and we'll get you some food. MJ, the Bull would slide over just a little bit. Yeah, we're good. You are looking really good tonight, my man. So Coach Finger was talking about, and we've mentioned before, you roll in, and you were a 13-year-old, and they're like, go start at left tackle against Hope. Now, and I've been looking at everybody's like season or their career totals. Over your career, and this on the defensive side, 127 tackles, 34.5 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks. If I would have said that to you 4 years ago, you think that's what you had in mind when you came to Whitney Young?
No, I would be thinking like a more offensive player, because when I first came, I didn't think of much defense until like sophomore year. So if you told me that 4 years ago, freshman year, I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah, okay. I think, looking back, what are some of the games, what are some of the plays that you think that you'll remember over your 4 years? What when you wake up in the morning and you think about Whitney Young football, what are you thinking about?
Okay, so obviously the Clark game from this year, first touchdown, but the one that's sticking in my mind right now is definitely the Taft game when I caught the ball and I scored. But one that's like top tier in my head would be probably the Amundsen game, because that was a really tough game. Me just tackling, getting back there, making plays, and yeah, that's it.
Amundsen this year or Amundsen last year, or both?
Really both.
Yeah.
Both. Who don't? I just can't speak on them games. They were just really tough games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that's one of the things. What about Joe Gray was talking about how like the Wheaton North game was a sort of a wake up moment for him of being able to compete against that. And I think back and against Palatine, you played a great game. It's one thing to play against some of the city level teams, but at the state level, and then when we get into city playoffs, what's it like playing at that level, playing against guys that are definitely playing? So I want to make a segue here, but definitely playing in college ball. What's it like for you when you're in the trenches against those guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Going up against those offensive linemen, they're strong, quick, and they know what they're doing. So for us, it's going to be a learning experience for state playoffs. Then once we go back down the city, it's like we already know like what's going on. We know we could dominate them, but we're just going to attack stronger and faster. Yeah,
all right. And then, and how about it? I mean, Coach Finger's talking about the recruiting part of it. I know that you got some offers out there, but things are still developing. What's in store for MJ Woods through the rest of his senior year at Whitney Young, but then on from there? Do you know, or is it too early to tell?
Right now it's too early to tell, but I'm just hoping and praying that I can get where I want to call home in the next 3 to 4 years.
All right. What's it? Maybe just to close it out. Again, you're. What's amazing, MJ, is that you're a quiet guy off the field. I think maybe some of your friends would disagree. On the field, I mean, you made a lot of noise out there as the Bull. So a lot of highlights. What's it meant playing for Coach Finger and for this coaching staff?
It was a great run. That first year, freshman year, it was kind of tough because I didn't know what was going on. It was moving too fast. I wasn't as strong, as big. But then as I developed, I just see like I'm capable of being a great player. So I just stuck with the program and got me where I'm here now.
All right, very good. Well, it looks like the players are getting in line for food, so I'm going to let you get over there. MJ, it's been a pleasure watching you play for 4 years, my man. Hopefully you tune in to the live stream when you're playing at the next level, and we'll give some shout-outs to you.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Thanks a lot, MJ. All right, gang. Well, those were our senior captains, and I think we're going to probably wrap it here because they're going to get into food, and then we're going to move on to the rest of the banquet. So I want to thank everybody out there. Again, an incredible year for the Dolphins, finishing up 9-3, getting to that semifinal game against Morgan Park. Morgan Park is a little bit of our bugaboo, so they're going to be circled on the schedule from now on. I mean, we talk about the last 2 years, 21-5, 2 of those losses in Morgan Park. We're going to get over the hump on those guys at some point. But just again, my thanks to Coach Finger and the program that he's put together. I know we talk a lot about some of the things that go on during the year, some of the specialty days that they do. There are a lot of guys here tonight. Hopefully a few of them, I see some ties, so Coach Finger always teaches these guys how to tie ties. He always, nobody has a flat tire because Coach Finger teaches them how to change a tire on his car. So a lot of fun stuff. Tonight, again, Coach Finger gives an incredible speech for each of these seniors. We've got 29 of them tonight. Talked about the development of the program and what we've seen in some of these guys over the years. So thanks to everybody. Have yourself a great night, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you again in late summer when the Dolphins kick off. But keep watching for these guys. Keep watching. Tune in on Dolphin social media so you can see where some of these guys commit. Again, Max's signing day. We know he's heading to Missouri. That's going to be an official signing day here at Whitney Young, I believe, tomorrow. But then you also see a lot of these other guys. All the guys that we talked to tonight are interested right now and have the potential to play at the next level. I know Miles Bardsma is definitely in that group. Bennett DeRoss is in that group, and a lot of other guys. So again, if you know the Dolphins, you know a lot of these guys that are playing. I got some guys at the D1 level, got some guys at D2, D3, and they grow up through this program and they progress as football players, but more importantly, they progress as student athletes and as men. So thanks again, everybody. Have yourself a great rest of the week, a great holiday season. Go Dolphins.